Okay, when we're graphing reflections of f of x equals the log of base b of x, reflection about the x-axis is when you're taking a negative sign and multiply it by the entire logarithm, and when the base is greater than 1. So what happens here is that the blue is the parent function. If it's reflected about the x-axis, it's as if it's flipped. Now the x-intercept remains the same. The y-coordinates are opposite. So the x-coordinate stays the same, but the y-coordinates have opposite signs. So that would be b negative 1. So it's reflected, the reflected function is decreasing as x moves from 0 to infinity, so it's decreasing. The asymptote remains x equals 0. The x-intercept remains 1 of 0. The key point changes to b to negative 1. The domain remains 0 to infinity, and the range remains negative infinity to positive infinity. Now when we're reflecting about the y-axis, that means we're multiplying the variable x by a negative sign. So that means the axis of symmetry is now the vertical line of y, the y-axis, which is x is equal to 0. So what's going to happen here now is that the signs of the x-coordinates are now opposites. So the reflected function is a decreasing function as x moves from infinity to 0, or in this case it should be negative infinity to 0. The asymptote remains the same at x equals 0. The x-intercepts is at negative 1, 0. The key point changes to negative b, 1. The domain changes from negative infinity to 0, and the range remains the same.